Hello and welcome. We are back out in the Sylvania Wilderness, this time for a 2-night solo winter camping trip. We're about a mile from the parking area at the Thompson Lodge Trail, and this has been an interesting trip to plan for. We've been having days that are above, getting up close towards 50 degrees. Today was, I think, 48 or 49. Right now it's down into the low 40s, I think 43 last time I looked. And of course I chose to go 3 miles into the wilderness for a campsite. And the trail is, I don't know, it's probably 80 to 95% covered with snow, but it's wet. There's areas of water standing. It's not good. So here's kind of what it looks like right in front of me. And then back behind me. And driving in, there's areas where you see good sections of the woods that are no snow at all, completely clear. And in some places, as I'm pulling my polk along, I'm all but melting the snow underneath me. So we'll see how good of a choice it was to go 3 miles into the wilderness. Tomorrow, it's supposed to be below freezing tonight. It's supposed to be mid-30s tomorrow. I think 35 is the high for tomorrow. There was a chance of rain for tonight, but I think that looks like it might be out of the forecast. And then there's a chance for snow Friday night, up to an inch of snow by Friday morning. So let's kind of hope that happens. I don't like the idea of packing up wet, but it'd be nice to have a fresh, even if it's a fresh thin layer of snow on the ground for walking out. Otherwise, Saturday morning on the way out could be quite the chore for pulling my polk out. So we'll see how it goes, but I got a late start. I got here around a little after 4. It's about 4:25 now. I think sunset's at 5:15 or so, which means I have good light until about 5:30. Should be enough time. Like I said, I'm a mile in, so actually it's just under 2 more miles to get to my campsite. We're going back to Loon Lake, and I think we're gonna stay at one of the mallard campsites tonight. See, it's spots like this that really suck. So I made it down to Clark Lake at least before sunset. I think sunset is 5:12. I looked at it a little while ago. So we're mere minutes away from that sun actually setting. Unfortunately, down here along next to the lake, yeah, that's what the snow looks like. It's gonna be a rough pull between here and the next shady area. So let's get moving. So I got into camp about 6 o'clock, so a little after dark. Ended up using my headlamp for about the last 20 minutes of the trail so I could see. Got a little bit of a fire going now. Boiling up some water so I can get some dinner. And I got camp all set up, ready to go. I do have, holy cow, I got a couple of hot spots on my heels. And I think that's from pulling so much across non-snowy ground. The whole trail along the shore on Loon Lake was no snow at all. So I'm going to eat my food quick and hang up my food bag, and jump into bed. I'm exhausted. I think it'll probably be, 8:30, and I'll be in the sack. So yeah, unless I think of anything else, I will talk to you guys in the morning. See ya. Good morning. Yeah, so last night was an interesting night. I don't know if it started off as rain or sleet or snow, but we have snow now. Not a ton, but things are a little bit more white than they were yesterday. And then number two was the wind. It was crazy windy all night. In fact, at one point the wind stopped and it woke me up. The silence woke me up. So, also, I knew I was getting some hot spots last night on the way in. And yeah, it turns out they weren't hot spots. So I got two pretty bad blisters. And so I'm gonna get up here, make some coffee. Needs to be strong this morning. Finally, time for that first cup. Oh, that's good. Take my coffee along and go for a little hike up over there to check out Banks Lake. Banks? Yeah, Banks Lake. After the Forest Service acquired the Sylvania property, they went and did a big, drew up a big plan, recreational plan for the use of the area. And I don't think at that time, you know, wilderness or natural area was even considered. And there's a book out there, a report that the Forest Service did that's extremely hard to find, but this Banks Lake area, they were talking about having a amphitheater here on the shore of Banks Lake. I think the amphitheater would have been on the opposite side of the lake from where we're approaching. I'm not that far from camp coming down here, maybe 200 yards or so. I think from right here you'll be able to get a pretty good view of the lake. Not very big, but still cool. Okay, let's get back up to camp, finish my coffee, ponder whether we're going to pack up or not. I think if we're going to leave, I want to make that decision by noon. Also, I'll show you what Loon Lake looks like from the landing for the campsite.
So the plan for today was to go hike over to Deer Island Lake and check out an old abandoned campsite. It was called Raven. It existed before Sylvania became Wilderness. And back then the campsites out here all had picnic tables and fire rings and I think full enclosed outhouses. And once this became Wilderness, and as they prepped it to become Wilderness, they went around to all the campsites and removed all that. And I had never seen this campsite before. There's actually 2 campsites pre-Wilderness that were out on Deer Island Lake. That hike over to Raven campsite is about 3 miles round trip. And based on how I felt once I got to Raven, I was potentially going to go over and hike to the Hawk campsite and check that one out as well before coming back. But with these blisters that are on my feet, I don't think I can do that. I think instead what we're going to do is I've made the decision to pull on out of here. I really would have liked to have done 2 nights here, but with my feet, I would have just ended up having to sit around camp all day long. I also have an issue with my stove. For some reason, it's not running at full capacity, which means it's taken forever to boil a pot of water. And yes, I have a repair kit. I could potentially fix it, but with this wind, I mean, that's the other thing. The wind was supposed to change. It was supposed to be out of the south through overnight into this morning, and then by this morning, sometime after midnight, I should say, it was supposed to start shifting to more of a west and northwest wind. And that would have kept it from blowing across the lake and at us. And that's not happening. It's just coming straight off the lake. The nice thing is we did get some snow overnight, so hopefully those bare spots along the trail have filled in a little bit. I don't know if you can tell, but it's snowing right now. So we're adding a little bit more to the ground. So I don't want to wait till tomorrow and hope I can get out then. So I've made the decision, we're out of here. Wow, that is just insane. It's a massive red pine, and the amount of twisting it did when it came down, holy cow. Okay, one last look at Loon Lake. Trail's starting to pull away.
It was nice to get away from the lake for a while. Walking along Clark Lake now, and this is that area that pretty much was almost nothing but pine needles yesterday. At least today it has a little bit of snow on it. It's making life a lot easier, but gonna keep moving and get away from the lake so I can get away from this wind again. Wow, I can't believe too how much more the lake has opened up since yesterday. There was a couple little spots where it was open along the edge here yesterday, but today it's almost continuous all along this lake shore. About 2 miles into this hike, so about another mile left to the parking lot. Things are going good. The sled is sliding good. I just have happened to find some icy spots. Almost took myself out twice. So, working along nice and slow. Probably another 30 minutes or so, and I'll be back to the car. Made it back to the car. Just need to get packed up now. Pull out a snack and some fresh socks so I can change my wet boots. And get everything loaded up. So I'm back in the car warming up. You know, sometimes you just gotta be prepared for the unexpected. Yesterday on the way in, I was fighting sunset and I was just powering on through. I had a feeling I was getting some hot spots, but you know, I really didn't start feeling it until just about the time I got down to Loon Lake. And like I said, I powered on through. And when I finally got a chance to get my boots and socks off last night, it was obvious I had blisters on both feet that big. So it took me a little over 2 hours, maybe 2 hours and 15 to get out today. So you know, it was good. Any night in the woods is a good night. So I had fun. I just wish that I hadn't gotten the blisters, because otherwise today would have been a nice day of exploring. You know, I wouldn't have been carrying almost any weight, just a small backpack with things I needed for the day, and we'd probably be getting close to getting back to camp right about this time now, finding firewood, making dinner, and yeah, but that's okay. It's snowing now out. You know, we'll try to get out one more time this winter. I'll see you on the next one.